O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Our University of Alberta Invocation. All praise to you, gracious Creator. You have gathered us in this university community to praise you by our words and our works. Bless the University of Alberta, which seeks to teach whatsoever things are true. Bless the students and professors, the non-academic staff and support staff, the administration, and all those who volunteer on the university board, the Senate, and Alumni Council, and all who promote sound education in our community. We ask that those who leave here today, blessed with their degrees, may be given grace and strength to serve in our global home. May we grow in wisdom and grace before you and all your people. May this university always be home of truth and wisdom, of faith and goodwill towards all. Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to the University of Alberta on this beautiful Alberta summer day. My name is Ralph Young and I have the privilege of serving as the Chancellor of the University of Alberta and representing the public interest in our university. To begin, I wish to acknowledge and honor all Indigenous peoples, including the Inuit, Métis, and First Nations of Treaty 6, and to acknowledge the traditional lands on which we are gathered today. I also wish to acknowledge and honor the immigrants from many nations whose contributions have added so much to our rich heritage. Our university is blessed with a diverse and inclusive culture, which is built on the legacy of all those who have come before us. Today, we pledge to uphold that legacy as we continue to pursue our motto, whatsoever things are true. On behalf of our entire university community, I'm delighted to welcome you all to this convocation. We're very pleased that so many family and friends could join us as we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. Graduation from the University of Alberta is a significant milestone, and we're honored to share this convocation with you. Convocation is a Latin term meaning gathering together of all qualified degree holders in the university community, and it dates back almost 700 years to medieval times. So generations and generations of scholars have walked in your footsteps. Led by our Chief Marshal and the University Mace, today's formal procession to the stage originates in the procession of the Guild of Teachers. Our university coat of arms above us includes the Great Horned Owl, the Book of Learning, the pronghorn from Alberta's coat of arms, and our own golden bear, mascot of our university. And again, our university motto, Caecumque Vera, Latin for whatsoever things are true, is at its foundation. As Chancellor, I wear the University green and gold with great pride and respect. And in our stage party today, the various academic robes, hoods, and caps declare in their various designs and colors the alma maters and qualifications of the faculty, senate, board, and others who are here to celebrate with you. Similarly, your academic apparel signifies to everyone into society your faculty and your degree of proficiency as graduates. Today, each of you will cross the stage as your name is called, and that will be the most important part of our ceremony. Your degree will be conferred as I congratulate you and shake hands. And that moment will bind you and the University of Alberta together for all time. Your family and friends are witness to that commitment, and all of the history and tradition within today's ceremony is in honor of you, our graduands. And that's why we're here, of course, to celebrate your achievements. We're also extremely privileged today to welcome the Honorable Romeo Dallaire, who has accepted our invitation to receive an honorary Doctorate of Laws. An honorary degree recognizes inspiring role models and leaders, celebrates extraordinary achievements, or recognizes remarkable service to society. Joining the celebration on the stage today is our President, Dr. David Turpin, our Board Chair, Mr. Michael Fair, and we're also pleased that Dr. Suzanne Cresta, Associate Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research, Dr. Paul Payton, Dean of the Faculty of Law, and Dr. Fraser Forbes, Interim Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, are here to congratulate the graduates as they cross the stage. I'm also equally delighted to welcome here on stage past honorary degree recipient and Chancellor, Concordia University of Edmonton, the Honorable Dr. Alan Wakowicz, past honorary degree recipients Dennis Erker and David Hancock, Honorable Associate Chief Justice John Rook, Court of the Queen's Bench, Mr. Angus Watt, Consular Corps of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Registrar Lisa Collins, Provost Stephen Dew, and Dean of Students Robin Everall. In addition, our Graduate Students Association is represented by Feroz Kudjari, and Mr. Tom Dang, MLA for Edmonton Southwest, represents the legislature of the province of Alberta. We also have many board members and board alumni, senators and Senate alumni, and alumni council members, including past President Glenn Stokoway. So we're all honored to be here and pleased to be able to enjoy this day with you. It's now my pleasure to invite our board chair, Mr. Michael Fair, to bring greetings from the Board of Governors.
The eminent Chancellor, Mr. Ralph Young, President, Mr. David Turpin, distinguished guests, graduates, families, and friends. I am pleased to be here today to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Governors. Convocation is a special time when the entire university community gathers to celebrate your tremendous achievements. Indeed, the university has much to celebrate, but today we especially gather to celebrate you, the graduating class of 2016. You have achieved a level of excellence which will be forever recognized in your university degree, a University of Alberta degree. Representing the Board of Governors, I and the full board are committed to excellence today and tomorrow, providing excellence in teaching and research that has supported you and will support those that follow in our ever-changing world. Alberta and Canada are a great place for all of us, and great because of this graduating class of 2016. Your degree is a sign of your achievement at the University of Alberta. It is also a signal to others that you are the kind of citizens that bring knowledge, understanding, and skills to the society that we live in. Competent, giving, ethical, and engaged in the challenges and opportunities today and tomorrow. Congratulations to you, your families, friends, and supporters. Continue to learn, continue to achieve, enjoy today, and we wish you the very best for the future. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Thomas Dang, MLA for Edmonton Southwest.
Thanks, Michael. Good morning, everybody. Chancellor Young, President Turpin, Mr. Fair, dignitaries and other special guests, faculty, staff, graduates, family, and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to acknowledge that respectfully observe that we are on the traditional territory of the Treaty 6 First Nations people here today. And what an honor it is to join all of you today on such a special day in your lives. It's really my privilege to bring greetings on behalf of Premier Rachel Notley, Advanced Education Minister Marlon Schmidt, and the rest of my Government of Alberta colleagues. Today, graduates, we feel an overwhelming sense of pride and the excitement of new beginnings. Today, we mark the closing of one chapter of your lives and the opening of another greater one. After the handshakes and the hugs, after the photos are taken and the toasts are raised, you will set out into a province and a world that needs you. Especially in these times of economic uncertainty, your education is a means of empowerment that will help you find and develop the economic, scientific, social, and creative solutions we need and from which we will benefit. As somebody who worked in research and innovation, I know all too well that you will shape our future for not only our province, but for the world for generations to come. At any time, and especially in difficult times, access to quality post-secondary education is especially vital, and education is the single most important investment a government and an individual can make. And that's why our government restored education funding and froze tuition and fees to keep a quality education accessible and affordable, so we could help you with your personal investment of money, time, and hard work. The work that you will find great rewards from, and which you are celebrating today. The great Irish poet William Butler Yeats called education the lightning of fire. Your education is a fire that you will tend throughout your life, adding the fuel of experience and the oxygen of wisdom. Learning is the foundation of a life well lived, and it forms the deep roots of a vibrant community and the best promise for a stronger Alberta. The role of education and learning in our future is now part of your responsibility as adult Albertans and as citizens. Today, with the love and support of your family, friends, and community, we praise you for the months and years of effort that have led you to this ceremony, and we trust our future to your care. Congratulations, and thank you.
It's now my pleasure to invite the 13th President of the University of Alberta, Dr. David Turpin, to bring the Convocation address.
Mr. Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the Academy, staff, family, friends, and especially you, the graduates, congratulations and well done. Earning your degree is a major accomplishment, a sign that you have considerable talents and skills, that you can work hard and deliver excellent results, and that you have become a learner, a person who can open yourselves to new ideas and experiences and be changed. None of this is easy, nor should it be. To change yourself is a difficult task, and yet it is essential that our society be full of people with the capacity to change and transform. Otherwise, how will our world, our community and societies be resilient, renew themselves, and continue to thrive? So many events over the past year have reminded all of us of how quickly and unexpectedly things can change. I think of the Syrian refugee crisis. Countries across Europe and around the world have had to act quickly and adjust plans to respond, and then as the crisis grew larger, adapt again and again. Here at the University of Alberta, we quickly set up a special scholarship fund for refugees and welcomed our first students to campus in January. Then, in early April, my wife Sharmithra and I were in the airport in Brussels, about 2 weeks after the devastating terrorist attacks that shut the airport down. Another unexpected event that changed things overnight. Closer to home, we have faced the Fort McMurray wildfire. Only a month ago, People went to bed on May the 2nd thinking that life was going to continue as usual and that the fire burning close to town had changed direction. But things changed, and quickly. By the next afternoon, they were throwing a few things into suitcases and in some cases fleeing for their lives. Through all of these events of the last few months, I have been repeatedly struck by the resilience of people and their communities. As new graduates, resilience is a skill you will need. Consider the response to the fires in Fort McMurray. In a matter of hours, emergency relief services were put into action. Efforts were put towards fighting the fire, organizing reception centers, supporting evacuees, and planning re-entry. Over the course of only a few days, the Red Cross successfully registered nearly 90,000 evacuees, and Canadians were giving in record numbers. If I think of the Brussels airport and our time there, again, only days after the attacks happened, Sharamithra and I were amazed by people's resilience. When we arrived at the airport, we knew that it would not be business as usual. And indeed, check-in tents had been set up in the parking lot while rebuilding went on in the arrivals area. As we were routed through alternative spaces, staff went out of their way to be friendly, helpful, and attentive. They were subdued, but there they were, back at work and caring about us, in spite of all that they had been through. Their resilience was truly remarkable. Where does the resilience that we have witnessed time and again this past year come from? Well, strength for starters, and compassion for another. I saw that compassion in the face of one of our Syrian refugee scholarship students when I met him in the lineup for the University of Alberta's Fort McMurray fundraising barbecue. He was there to help people who he didn't know, but he understood them as few of us do. So there is strength and compassion in resilience, but also well-honed skill, nimbleness, flexibility, and diversity. Sit in a high-functioning crisis management team meeting at the height of an emergency, and you witness highly skilled people from different units thinking of every alternative, trying multiple approaches, and quickly abandoning those that won't or aren't working for those that will. While everyone in the room is working towards the same end, they come at the problem with diverse skills and perspectives, and it's vital they do. No complex emergency can be solved with only one way of thinking. Diversity enables us to be nimble and flexible. Diversity builds our resilience. Diversity gives us the tools we need to respond to things when plans change. It makes it possible to imagine alternative ways forward. As a biologist, I learned early in my studies that ecological diversity is essential. It enables communities and ecosystems to adapt and change. Monocultures, by contrast, inevitably fail. Still, take away the urgency of a wildfire burning out of control, or a flood of refugees risking all and dangerous sea crossings, and the importance of diversity and resilience in human society can dim besides the values of consistency and dependability. When something or someone consistently delivers a positive result, why take a risk on an alternative? Well, the answer is simple. When we ignore the value of diversity, we lose the capacity for resilience. I mention all of this today because you and I both know that you graduate into an uncertain world. On the one hand, we know and understand our planet today better than we ever have. And yet, on the other, so much is changing that we cannot predict with certainty how you will be making your living next year or building the communities of our future. You will need to be flexible, nimble, and above all, resilient. How will you do that? Well, first, remain at all times the learner you are today. Continue to surround yourself with people who think differently than you. Open your eyes and ears to alternative perspectives and ideas. Immerse yourself in experiences that are far outside your comfort zone. Keep listening, observing, and learning. Second, be empathetic and compassionate. Be like that young Syrian refugee scholarship winner who is now part of our community and already reaching out to help others. And finally, know that you are part of a community, a big, diverse, supportive community that will continue to help you learn, think differently, and to be resilient. That community is the University of Alberta. That community includes the people sitting all around you. It includes more than 260,000 University of Alberta alumni working and living around the world. We are proud of you. We look forward to hearing from you, to being challenged by you, and to working with you to build a stronger, more compassionate, and more resilient community, province, country, and world. Thank you and congratulations.
Knowledge shall not be the concern of scholars alone. The uplifting of the whole people shall be its final goal.
They inspire us all with their brilliance, creative force, and fervent desire to make the world a better place.
I accept in the name of our poor people.
Dream your dreams. It is possible to have a new kind of world.
Those who receive an honorary degree from the University of Alberta set the highest standards of dedication and excellence for students and for society at large.
You will always find it, your own courage or theirs, in the eyes of the other.
Go where there's no path and leave a trail for someone else.
And while their backgrounds and fields of endeavor vary widely, all are exceptional.
Maybe it's best if I just speak from the heart.
I will remember you. Will you remember me?
We face today a clash of ignorances.
You are who make the history. You are who create the future.
U of A honorary degree recipients embody the university's vision to inspire the human spirit through outstanding achievements in learning, discovery, and citizenship in a creative community.
I think we are now in the threshold of a new beginning.
It is a spirit that is building one of the world's great universities for the public good.
It is your attitude that will sustain you. It is not what happens to you, it is what you do with it.
Travel well, travel without prejudice, live long and prosper.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of the University of Alberta, I am honored to introduce Romeo Antonius Dallaire for the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws, our institution's highest honor. The definition of courage applies to the moral strength to face danger or trouble without showing fear, to act as one thinks one should. Courage is a defining quality of Lieutenant General Dallaire's decisions and contributions to our country and to our global community. He had the courage to disobey a United Nations command to withdraw, and instead remained in Rwanda during the 1994 genocide to fulfill the ethical obligation to protect those who sought refuge with UN forces. He has the courage to share the story of that experience through an award-winning book and documentary, to serve as a witness to the depths of hatred and love, of fear and hope, and the breadth of human experiences that we share. He has the courage to tell still another deeply personal story of suffering and post-traumatic stress disorder, opening new doors to public understanding of the importance of mental health supports for soldiers and for all Canadians who may be victims of PTSD and traumatic experiences. Finally, he has the courage to challenge all of us to work together to eliminate the use of child soldiers around the world, to consider all children as our children, and to offer future generations a vision of hope. This morning, we honor Lieutenant General and Senator Romeo Dallaire's vision. We honor his commitment to our shared future, and we honor his courage. Eminent Chancellor, with great pride and respect, I present to you Romeo Antonius Dallaire.
Romeo Antonius Dallaire, in recognition of exceptional service to Canada as a military leader, senator, humanitarian, and advocate for peace and human rights in our global community, I desire to confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws and to express the hope that we shall continue to be enriched by your wise counsel for many years to come. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very kind.
That's great to have you here.
Thank you, sir. Very well.
Take your underneath Mr. Killian. Take you over to the podium. Sure.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. Chair of the Board, Mr. President, members of the faculty, family, friends, and particularly graduates of today, good morning, and thank you for the invitation to be here with you to participate in this ceremony. I've rarely had to come to a podium under such humbling circumstances of watching that video and being considered possibly one of them. And for that, I am truly thankful. Also, for a retired general and a retired senator to have only 7 minutes to speak is an impossibility. And if I achieve that, then you've seen the impossible actually happen. I would like, if I may, to address particularly the graduates of this class. And I would like to use as a reference a great American philosopher who at times played baseball, Yogi Berra, who said, the future ain't what it used to be. And he said that over 60 years ago when he felt that things were changing just a little too fast for him to be able to adapt and for the society to adapt. Well, that's nothing compared to the revolutionary era in which we find ourselves today. We are in an era of revolutions, be it technology, be it in the social dimensions, be it in security. And in this time frame, it is very difficult to find the leadership that we require to in fact shape that future, to anticipate that future, and to give us some vision and a bit of guidance in order to be able to not survive the future, but to thrive within the future. And take that to the global sense, where now today we can actually speak of the whole of humanity. We can talk globally, because soon we'll be able to Skype anybody on earth, real time, face to face, real human beings that seemed so far away before, but are so close to us now. But this requires leadership. And leadership comes from people committing themselves humanly, but also their talents and their skills and knowledge and experience to want to influence that future and to shape it. And you, the graduates, are now joining that leadership strata of this great, extraordinary nation of ours. You have now joined that strata that has enormous responsibilities, not only within our boundaries, but as one of the great, stable democracies of the world. As a country with a strong work ethic, with a mastery of technology, with a belief in human rights, and a country that does not want to subjugate anybody else. Although we still have, as I sat in the Senate Committee on Aboriginal Peoples, we still have a law, legislation on the books created in the 19th century that says in the first line, this Indian Act is written in order to assimilate these people, and that's still on the books as we fiddle to try to handle this enormous responsibility of nations to nations. And so you, particularly you under 25, which I call, in fact, the generation without borders, for you master that technology that has, in fact, made you sans frontières, being able to communicate with the world, and the world communicate with you. And that has given you power to influence, to coalesce, to change in real time, and not have to wait years to be able to bring together people who believe as you, and as you should, within the fundamental premises of this country, in the human rights, in the equality of all human beings. That in fact, all humans are human. That not one of us is more human than the other. In this fact, we live with our experiences overseas in many of the conflict zones where we're trying to resolve conflicts, where ultimately we should be, in fact, trying to prevent conflicts in the first place. An example I'd like to use is the example where all humans are equal. Is during the genocide, as I was negotiating to move people between the lines of both ethnic groups, the forces had separated for a while and it was a no man's land. And as I'm driving through to negotiate, up ahead a couple hundred meters, there's a little boy, about 7 years old, in the middle of the road. And the extremists had been using young children to stop the humanitarian convoys of water and food and medical supplies. And the children would have to stay there. If they didn't, they simply killed them. And so the convoys would stop, they'd ambush it, they'd steal, and then they'd sustain the slaughter of close to 1 million people in 100 days, with 4 million internally displaced and refugeed, and anticipated another 500,000 who either died or stayed maimed for life because of that. And so, anticipating maybe an ambush because that child was there, slowed down, stopped, jumped out, had a couple soldiers with me, no ambush. Went to the huts along the road to see if somebody was there. There should be nobody, but who's taking care of this child? And all we found were bodies of people who had been killed weeks beforehand. And as we're looking for somebody to take care of this child, we lose the child. And we double back and we find them in a hut where there are 2 adults, male and female, couple children, and they're half-eaten by dogs and rats. And he's sitting there as if he's at home. And I picked him up and I brought him in front of my vehicle. And I looked at him and his stomach was bloated. And he was in rags and he was dirty, he was mangy, there were flies all around him. He smelled terribly. But then I looked into his eyes. And what I saw in the eyes of that little boy in the midst of that genocide, that civil war that were destroying so many human beings, was exactly what I saw in the eyes of my 7-year-old son when I left Quebec City to that mission in Africa. They were the eyes of a human child, and they were exactly the same. That little boy, in the midst of that catastrophe, abandoned by the world, was just as human as my son back home in Quebec City. They were equal. And that is what leadership requires us to remember, is that all humans are human. Not one of us is more human than the other. We are equal. And the frictions of some of the differences do not give us the right to abuse, to subjugate, to destroy other human beings. But on the contrary, we seek from you, this new generation without borders, a revolution in how we will, in fact, bring humanity together. For the tools are there, and you're mastering them. And with the skills and knowledge and experience you already have, we expect you to take that leadership role and give us a vision and direction into the future. For maybe we have not provided you with the depth so far of guiding you in that way. Just think of the year 2017. The year 2017 will be the 150th anniversary of one of the most stable democracies in the world, of one of the 11 most powerful nations in the world. It will also be the 100th anniversary where your peers, 100 years before, crossed the pond, fought, bled, and died in order to have a victory and pay in blood the price of us not being colonial cousins anymore, but being a great nation state. And that was Vimy Ridge. So with a year, the 150th of our democracy and the 100th anniversary of the price our youth paid for having that great stature that we have. What's the plan? What do we plan to give us that vision of the future? What focus are we being given by our leadership elite of this nation? How are we going to bring and face that future and, in fact, thrive and influence the world as we achieve the full potential of this extraordinary country in which we live in? You have the responsibility to push that leadership into thinking of the future, not in surviving that future, but in thriving, and in so doing, see this great nation take a leadership role in advancing not just our values, but the sense of humanity, the sense of belief that all humans are human, and not one of us is more human than the other, and we can resolve our frictions without having to destroy each other. To you, the responsibility of assisting us to move this great nation and humanity into a far, far more reconciliatory and preventive mode than it has been in the past. And in so doing, reduce the suffering and the casualties of not only those overseas, but those who are back home, who make the sacrifices of the losses of those who have served overseas. For it is essential that in a great nation like ours, when veterans come back injured or come back in body bags, that we treat them and their families with dignity, with respect, and they don't have to fight again to live decently as injured veterans in this great nation. Thank you very much.
Graduates, you've been very blessed today. You may not in your lifetime hear a more powerful and meaningful story and lessons about the importance of humanity. We've heard from a Canadian hero and a man of great courage, a man of passion, a man of humility, and a man of compassion about the importance of humanity, of equality, and human rights. And we're so thankful that Dr. Dallaire, that you could be with us today. We ask you to sign our honor roll and congratulate you again. And now, graduates, it's your turn. As the name of each graduate is called across the stage, I will formally admit you to your degrees, and we will have an opportunity to congratulate you. On your journey across the stage, we will walk past the University of Alberta's ceremonial mace. Centuries ago, that mace was a symbol of authority over life and death. Today, this mace represents the life-changing power of knowledge and the importance of our university and our graduates to our community. I look forward to meeting you on stage.
Eminent Chancellor and President, on behalf of the faculties, I present to you these scholars and ask that they be pledged and admitted to the degrees to which they are entitled.
Do you promise faithfully to observe and loyally to maintain the statutes, customs, privileges, and liberties of this your university? Do you solemnly promise to conduct yourselves in all things loyally and faithfully to the honor of your university, the encouragement of learning, and the good of your country? These things I pledge myself to do.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of our university, I admit you to the degrees to which you are entitled and invest with you all the rights, powers, and privileges pertaining to such degrees. I charge you to use them for the uplifting of the whole people and to inspire the human spirit, and for all who believe to serve your God. And finally, to pursue more steadfastly whatsoever things are true. Please be seated.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Paul Payton and Professor Suzanne Cresta, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Law and Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, the recipient of the Governor-General's Gold Medal, Hadley Louise Friedland.
Dr. Hadley Friedland is the recipient of the Governor-General's Gold Medal awarded at the Spring 2016 Convocation by the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research. This medal is presented on behalf of the Governor-General of Canada, His Excellency, the Right Honourable David Johnston, and his wife, Her Excellency, Sharon Johnston. Established in 1873, the Governor-General's Gold Medal is one of the most prestigious awards that can be received by a student in a Canadian educational institution for exceptional academic achievement. Dr. Friedland's hometown is Grand Cache, Alberta. She holds a Child and Youth Care Diploma from Grant MacEwan University, a Bachelor of Laws degree from the University of Victoria, and a Master's of Law degree from the University of Alberta. Today, she receives her Doctor of Philosophy in Law. The title of Dr. Friedland's thesis is Reclaiming the Language of Law, the Contemporary Articulation and Application of Cree Legal Principles in Canada. Dr. Friedland explored the potential for documenting and employing Indigenous legal traditions to address current urgent social issues in First Nations communities in principled and legitimate ways. Dr. Friedland was the recipient of several prestigious awards, including the SSHRC Vanier Canada Graduate Scholarship, the SSHRC Impact Talent Award, an honorary Isaac Walton Killam Memorial Scholarship, and a University of Alberta doctoral scholarship. She also has several publications to her credit. Dr. Friedland has facilitated workshops on engaging with Indigenous law for dozens of Indigenous communities, as well as an increasing number of legal academics and professionals. She's also very active in the community and is affiliated with several Canadian universities. Any chance she gets, Dr. Friedland enjoys spending time with her incredible family and circle of friends, including her inspiring mother, Joan, her supportive partner, Ken, her two amazing children, Davita and Asher. Dr. Friedland, on behalf of the University of Alberta, congratulations on this recognition. Congratulations.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Paul Payton, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Law. Recipient of the Horace Harvey Medal in Law, Alison Elaine Tingley-Boutillier, with distinction.
Alison Boutillier is this year's recipient of the Horace Harvey Medal in Law. This medal is awarded to the graduating student with the highest academic standing in the Bachelor of Law degree. It is endowed by the late Horace Harvey, former Chief Justice of the province of Alberta. Alison's dedication to academia has resulted in over 30 awards, including the Dean's Citation in Arts and in Law. She also served as the chair of the Women's Law Forum, a group of over 100 members that work to advance the status of women in law. Alison will be articulating at the Court of Queen's Bench and Whitton LLP. Congratulations, Alison. Well done.
Cody Ackland. Sam Nader Alzaman. Jonathan Austin. Justin Matthew Berry. Paul Berriot. Nathaniel Joseph Brenneyes. Jason Darrell Brown. Mark Andrew Brown. Rhonda Cynthia Camplin. Andrew James Caniff. Lauren Kimberly Caniff. Emily Christine Chick with distinction. Lisa Colleen Chedick. David James Clanahan with distinction. Elsbeth Joanne Cochran with distinction. Megan Corin. Alison Dawn Crumpton with distinction. Justin Giacomo Danzo. Recipient of the George Bly O'Connor Silver Medal in Law, Courtney Ella Davidson with distinction. Ewan Morgan Davies with distinction. Marianne Anastasia Dunn. Danica Anna Christine Frasovich. Adeline Fung. David Robin Foster. Osha Fritz. Fraser Luke Jennis with distinction. Rana Gunham. Harsh Gupta. Natasha Joy Hegel. Janine Nicole Hancock. Ryan J. Hartford. Anne Marie Henderson with distinction. Taylor Henschel. Shaughnessy Lynn Hill with distinction. Catherine Elizabeth Hall. Brian Allen Hosking. Ivan Yudin. Ali Hussein Ismail. Sharif Ahmed Isawi. Luke William Johnson. Azhar Rashad Khan. Paul William Kolida with distinction. Vanessa Catherine Corzan with distinction. Sasha Aissa Laluz with distinction. Robert Edward Levalle. Jacqueline Louise Leblanc. Ariel Elizabeth Lecas. Curtis Peter Letwin. Witold Nicholas Lipnicki. Paula Maitland. Nicole Guimont Malenzak. Michael Tsinyi Man. Alexander Manoli. Laura Matalis. Caitlin Jean Branson McCall with distinction. Ian Alexander Miller. Mark Sidney Haffon Moore with distinction. Michael Anthony Murray. Kathleen Mary O'Driscoll with distinction. Kristen Peters. Michael Proskew. Jackie Kwang. Mark Allen Rosema. Anne Mary Margaret Rupsich. Matthew Kenneth Reimer. Michael John Seed. Tanya Nicole Shapka with distinction. Cole Jesse Sloan. Nicholas Smith. Marie Lorraine Louise Snyder. Zachary Richard Soprovich. Tracy Spildy. Alan James Sproul. Robert Anthony Stack. Samantha Emily Stokes. Recipient of the Judges' Bronze Medal, Michael Erling Swanberg with distinction. Filippo Angelo Titi with distinction. Sophie Louise Tragesser with distinction. Nicole Watt. Nicholas James Willis. Shannon Marie Willis. Haley Patricia Woods.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Fraser Forbes and Professor Suzanne Crestra, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Engineering and Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Mohan Prasad Acharya. Manjit Chowdhury. Shaham Hosseini-Nejad. Masood Jahandar Lashaki. Amir Hussain Jamshidi. Mohammed Kalkali. Ashutosh Kumar. Matthew Thomas Langford. Naresh Miryala. Sadeh Nazarkahi. Puya Salem. Azar Shabani. Ruhola Shokiri. Mohammad Nuranubi Siddiqui. Mingfang Francis Siu. Mohammed Tabesh. Yinan Wang. Fan Yang. Hamid Uz Zaman. Huixin Zhang. Xiaoqin Zhang. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Science, Nuved Ahad. Surab Ahitan. Simita Bizwas. Sheiyuan Chen. Yijun Chen. Mark Alexander Curley. Shushen Das. Fang Fang. Suleiman Ali Gargum. Marnie Vanessa Jamieson. Mohammed Tarek Hussein Hondokar. Lang Liu. Han Lu. Xiaohui Mao. Shichen O. Sidhand Panda. Juan Perez Lichera. Jorge Luis Rodriguez. Cloribel Alejandra Santiago Flores. Amine Shokra Ladide. Gunjan Singh. Ipe Styles. Romu Tan. Sui Wang. Mingyuan Wang. Ouyang Wu. Wenda Xiao. Zhangguo Xu. Liana Maria Llanas Jaramillo, and it's her birthday. Min Yue. Mingbo Zhang. Ying Zhu. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Engineering, Huma Naz Asan. John Uzodinma Ezinwa. Michael Patrick Harvey. George Kalamoutsos. Man Liu. Fazil Razik Shah. Jamie Curtis Wickham. Jeremy Richard Woland. Wenbo Wu. Nan Yang. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Fraser Forbes, I present the following graduates for the degree in the Faculty of Engineering. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering, Osama Ahmed. Olawademilate Babatunde. Regan Colbert with distinction. Simir Singh Baines. Melissa Catherine Belaski. Mabrur Muntaha Bari. Varun Sudhakar Bojak. Yuchin Sao. David Chan. Jasper Chan. Kaho Chan with distinction. Stephen Michael Chan. Jia Jia Chen. Justin Michael Morris Chichak. Ian Christie. Jesus Roberto Colin Lozano. Aileen Lorena Correa. Christopher Simon Gent. Ming Le Guo. Jing Han. Isamul Haq. Danelle Janine Hines. William Hong. Manwei Huang. Michelle Huynh. Margaret Ann Jensen. Keyao Ji. Robin Jia. Brett Schuyler Johnson. Evan James Johnston with distinction. Prajumna Kadarsity. Kapil Katri. Daniel Kratakville with distinction. Joanna Kriska with distinction. Neil Kumar. Nitun Kundu. Daniel George Kurian. Ji Su Kwak. Mark Douglas Lawley. Shuhong Lee. Jack Liu. Jin Liu. The APEGA Past President's Medal in Chemical Engineering recipient, Diane Liu, with distinction. Amanda Marie McTaggart. Jesse Ryan Madrow. Curtis James Madrow. Mohammed Usama Mahmood. Marjorie Moranen Maliere with distinction. Azal Mansouri. Orisha Lee McNeil with distinction. Travis Joseph Mizera. Andy Chihim Mok. Cole Stephen Naiwachuk. Ayla Nilsson. Mofe Ulwa Iamide Oyekan with distinction. Sukhjit Singh Pander. Samuel William Parkinson. Bradley Scott Payne. Hua Piao. Andrew Piven. Tian Kui. Jacob Michael Ramsdell. Michael Allen Guerrero Rojas. Nidhi Shah with distinction. Rishab Sharma. Melissa Ye-Yin Sim with distinction. Arthur Julian Simon. Justin Kyle Skurlak. Anthony Susilo with distinction. Cole James Svoboda. Esmond Hoa Tang. Sarah Louise Joan Tansoni. Vin Tan Tat. Yuyang Tian. Cody Joel Tischler with distinction. Andrea Gabby Tito Coela and her fan club. Janice Tran with distinction. Dhruv Vashist. Ajing Wang with distinction. Mingyu Wang. Shun Wang. Sida Wang. Pujil Sunil Vankade with distinction. Akhilesh Raj Wusari. Xing Yang Shi. Yong Ling Yap with distinction. Shuying Yuan with distinction. Praise Yun. An Zhang with distinction. Junjie Zhang. Renong Zhang. Yuan Zhang with distinction. Kwa Run Chao. Han Yu Cheng with distinction. Huan Chin Zhuang.
Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Vance Gordon Anderson with distinction. Stephanie Lynn Andrews. Sergio Ignacio Arevalo. Jennifer Grace Arnell with distinction. Ali Arshad. Recipient of the APEGA Past President's Medal in Civil Engineering, Amy Lynn Balaberda with distinction. Shelby Barnstable. Caitlin Marie Beckett. Evgeny Bilal. Jonathan Mark Bennett. Adrian John Casana Blancas with distinction. Lisa Marie Butler with distinction. Graham Lawrence Byer with distinction. Nicholas Michael Byford with distinction. Alexander Jordan Calotes. Aaron John Campbell. Kelvin King Hang Chan. Kathy Chen with distinction. Peng Cheng. Samantha Sheena Chum. Stephen Dennis Clark with distinction. Christopher Aaron Clement with distinction. Gerda Paula Cones with distinction. Bryden Shad Kunan. Alexander Robert Cote. Gavin Cribb. Kelsey Alyssa Cunningham. Emily Natalie Dachau. Victor Luis del Rosario. John Peter Days. Sarah Jane Dimitri. Nan Dong. Navid Eskandar with distinction. Mark Estrada. Robert William Feist. Ty Leslie Robert Fergal. Arlette Marjorie Fernandez with distinction. Amanda Daisy Fremerlid. Kelly Dawn Gallivan. Ryan Thomas Gaisley with distinction. Arvind Singh Gill with distinction. Manaswi Golamudi. Yasashwi Golamudi. Chunyangong. Chuki Gu. Jipeng Han. Tanner Ray Helquist. Brian Peter Arthur Haru with distinction. John Robert Hicks. Daisy Ann Hollod. Albert Takling Hong with distinction. Jeffrey Roy Hung with distinction. Emily Catherine Hunter. Susan Christine Hutchinson. Dimple G with distinction. Brian Christopher Josie. Ashwarya Kalinshetty. Kieran George Kennedy. Brittany Mary Margaret Coble with distinction. Nancy Lai. Joseph Montero Latina. Andy Hui Plang Lao. Briley Murray Lewis with distinction. Ronson Lee. John Ling. Brent Evan Lowry with distinction. Yipin Lu with distinction. Spencer Lane Libert. Brett William McMillan. Chantal Marie Miro with distinction. Ikwan bin Mohammed Farid. Dylan Michael Monson. Ryan Anthony Morgan with distinction. Tyler Clark Knights with distinction. Brandon Hui Nguyen. Calvin Nolan Nicofor with distinction. Craig Jeffrey Nabor with distinction. James William O'Callaghan with distinction. Brian Merck Okama. Jenna Margaret Pierce with distinction. Michael Anthony Pearson. Hung Vu Pham with distinction. Fraser Anton Phillips. Jocelyn Plourde. David Rebick. Spencer Edward Redford. Maria Jose Rodriguez. Evan Michael Roach. Zoe May Rosema with distinction. Chelsea Amber Saltese. Ian McNichol Scott. Dong Min Seo. Hao Shi. Thomas James Skovronski. Taylor Merle Steele. Jonathan Michael Stoltz with distinction. Aidan Reed Stumber. Wen Chi Su. Bhaskar Swaroop. Erin Jean Taylor. Tony Lun Hon Te. Ferawati Theli. Robert Tran. Michael Trojanowitz with distinction. Daniel Robert Unsworth with distinction. Fei Wang. Terry Heng Wang. Adrian Godfrey Wong. Janine Brittany Wu with distinction. Yi Chen Wu. Bingyu Chi. Dean Lawrence Zetsov. Tracy Zhang with distinction. Li Cho. Nicole Marie Jade Zelinsky. Garrett Joseph Anthony Zimmer. Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Mining Engineering, Kenton Matthew Bannock with distinction. Quinton Robert Bunton Wahlberg. Manda Della Champagne. Alyssa Laureen Clark. Chad Albert Kokish. John Alexander Dubitz with distinction. Sean William Elliott with distinction. Calvin Ma with distinction. Recipient of the APEGA Past President's Medal in Mining Engineering, William Thomas Mitchell with distinction. Robert Elliott Pollock with distinction. Kirsten Andrea Pierce with distinction. Matthew William Reddy with distinction. Mitchell Ryan Schultz with distinction. Lenny Elise Shuttleworth Cuccinelli with distinction. Hillary Louise Smith with distinction. Andrew Donald Ross Thomas. Brent David Van Dorp. Leonji Haoyang. Brian Robert Yeomans. Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Petroleum Engineering, Patrick Gerald Mandigma Aguado. Karan Batar with distinction. Sean Brabazon. Yakin Chen. Alexander Robert Dampos. Riley Donald Eben. Zilong Fang. Bo Gao. Shubham Gwar. Jifa Guo. Allison Page Holt with distinction. Jordan Thomas Hollick with distinction. Pujian Huang. Joel Maris Hokolak with distinction. Raymond Hung. Chenjun Jiang. Kayan Jiang. Zichin Zhao with distinction. Wesley Andrew Jung with distinction. Benedict Richard Kaminsky. John William Lear. Jiafu Li. Minglen Li. Tian Rong Li. Xiaomeng Li. Yichao Li. Siyu Lui. Han Wen Lo. Nabil Malik with distinction. Eric John Muller. Zhao Deng Peng. Recipient of the Apega Medal in Petroleum Engineering, Sean James Perkins with distinction. Joshua Darren Pozaluzny with distinction. Taylor Sean Reed with distinction. Hong Bo Shi. Ning Yu Tao. Di Tian. Ximeng Wang with distinction. Brandon Trevor Whiting with distinction. Jehao Wu. Yi Fei Yan. Xiao Yi Yang. Xinkang Jiang. Xujin Zhang. Man Zhao. He Zhu.
Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Materials Engineering, Karim Abdelghani. He brought a friend. Neil Ernest Anderson with distinction. Scott Richard Arnott. Recipient of the APEGA Past President's Medal in Materials Engineering, Ivan Sikhon Au with distinction. Nicholas Thomas Back. Andrea Lee Bitzer. Zachary John Boris. Zachary Joseph Bosch. Catherine Michelle Brost with distinction. Thomas Sau. Joseph Vincent Caputo with distinction. Aaron Helen Chase. Yongshu Chen. Brianna Dawn Chakowski. George Deng with distinction. Catherine Marie Dumsday. Michael James Elkins. Jie-Chen Gao. Anita Evelyn Hain with distinction. Cameron Brian Levers. Mingkang Liu. Matthew Neil Lomas. Lucas Mark. Anne Elizabeth McDonald. Adam Nicholas Ostashek. Haley Lindsay Penner with distinction. Robert Kenneth Rollick. Braden Edward Redman. Xiaojun Lily Ren. Carlos Esteban Rivieros. Luke Kurt William Schwaffenberg with distinction. Lyndon Robert Skelly. Meng Yi Wang. Tianyang Wang. King Shaoke Wang. Yichuan Wang. Mark Philip Weber. Annie Zhao.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculties, I present to you the remaining scholars whose names appear in the Convocation program, but who are not in attendance.
Well, graduates, you made it. You're now officially on the other side. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2016. So now I would like to turn this around a bit and say it's your turn. I'd like you to stand up, turn around, and get everyone's attention. Give the people who have supported you through all of this, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, your spouses, your children, your friends, stand up, give them a huge round of applause. Today is a truly proud day for all of us, and in total this spring we are graduating a total of 6,642 students. Isn't that remarkable? So now that I've got you all back with us, it's time to turn our attention to the final part of today's ceremony. Before you are formally inducted into the University of Alberta Alumni Association, I invite you to watch the screens for the presentation of a special video montage. The song that accompanies the video, Je te retrouve, or I Remember You, was commissioned by Campus Saint-Jean in 2008 to honor the University of Alberta's centenary. It captures the hopefulness and potential of days spent at university and will hopefully spark your own memories of your years here. The song is also a display of many U of A talents. It was composed by Professor Emeritus Dr. Franz Lavassier-Ouimet and arranged by U of A alumnus Alan Bevan. The recording is performed by Choral Saint-Jean under the direction of Laurier Fagnan. Please enjoy.
Thank you.
I've watched that video a dozen times now. It brings a tear of pride to my eye every time. Eminent Chancellor Young, thank you and merci. To the 2016 graduating class, congratulations and welcome. My name is Glenn Stokoway, past president of your University of Alberta Alumni Association, and I graduated from the University of Alberta in electrical engineering in 1976. It is my honor to congratulate you on becoming a University of Alberta alumnus and to officially welcome you into our alumni family. You are joining a proud and inspired group of graduates committed to each other's success and committed to the building of the University of Alberta into one of the world's great universities for the public good. I call upon you to stay connected with each other, with other alumni, and with your university throughout your lifetime. We will be there for you, for each other, and for our university. I call upon you to go out from your university and be inspired by the promise and the challenge of our alumni to do great things. Our alumni have done many great things in the past. Now it is your turn. Great things are actions big and small. They can take place anywhere and anytime. They support other alumni, the university, and our society. They come from using the knowledge and the talent you have gained here for the betterment of yourselves and for others. Congratulations and best wishes in all your future endeavors. And now, please turn your attention to the big screen. Thank you.
No matter what your story, where you came from, what it took to get here, at this place, you became who you are. We are 100 years wise, more than 250,000 strong, in 142 countries around the globe. We are educators, innovators, volunteers, leaders, pioneers, people who changed the world, and the people who make it beautiful. We are University of Alberta alumni, and for a century we have come together and carved a trail for those who follow. Together, we are stronger. Together, we shine brighter. Together, from this place into the world, together we have, and we will, do great things.
Now, just a few closing remarks as we complete our convocation ceremony. All of us on the stage today commend you on your determination and your achievements to be here today. Our honorary degree recipient today offers a brilliant example of leadership and service to country and accomplishment. Honorable Dr. Romeo Dallaire, thank you again for sharing your story and your wisdom with our university family. In accepting this honorary degree, you have brought us great honor, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you for being here. It's also my pleasure to recognize Professor Barbara Billingsley, winner of this year's Rutherford Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Teaching, University of Alberta's Gold Medal for Undergraduate Teaching. Professor Billingsley, please stand and be acknowledged. And on your behalf, I wish to thank our superb vocalist, Mr. Oliver Monaire, and our outstanding Convocation band under the direction of Dr. Thomas Dust. for refreshments and fellowship. So graduates, may your dreams take you far, but may you always remain close to your alma mater, the university.